everyone. It's nice to be here in our next episode of Searching for Satoshi with George Gvazava. We talk about crypto and blockchain related topics, and we have some amazing guests all the time. And today's guest is also quite a special person in crypto and blockchain space, especially within the crypto gaming space. Steffen Kirkegaard, who is the CEO of Gamers Gold, and I always have a little bit trouble of pronouncing the names correctly, so I hope I did it well now. And Steffen, it's nice to have you.
To be here, George.
Great. So I guess it would be good for our audience if you could talk a little bit about yourself, how you got in here, how many years of experience within the crypto, blockchain, and gaming you have, and then we could, take this conversation forward.
Thank you. First of all, I came into crypto in a kind of funny way because somebody invited me into a bar. And actually, I had to lend my girlfriend's phone. She wasn't too happy about that because it had to be an iPhone. And I tried to download some of these tokens called Bitcoin, and it was in 2013 already. And then we came into the bar and we could buy beer, and everybody was saying, like, why are we buying beer with these when we have to exchange? Just because it's fun and it's a new technology and everything. So. But
tell me how much that beer cost in Bitcoin so that we can calculate how much you lost.
It was 4 Bitcoins.
Oh, that's some expensive beer then, Steffen.
That wasn't it. Back then it was fine, and I forgot to invest hardly into this because I was in doubt about all these Bitcoins and technologies and behind it, and I also said something to myself like I want to see that it really works first before I go into it. And so that was my crypto winter, where I was like, okay, let's see what's going on here. And I was like amazed when it exploded. And I think there's a lot of people thinking like, yeah, we should have invested back then. But the other thing is like so many people have done the same and lost their stuff because they're like, okay, whatever, it's on a USB and I was moving and I don't know where it is, on a hard drive, and they minted or stuff. It was just for fun. So now the technology proved that it's here and what it does. When it comes to gaming, I was having my first game in 1978. It was called Galaxy Invaders. And I was a very young kid back then, and it was fun, and I couldn't leave it. And I already got there's like a FOMO in this because you can't leave the game. You're like, okay, what's going on? And I want to play, and I want to have the best record, and all these stuff that is happening when you're a young guy. But it kept on, and now I'm an old guy, and I'm still gaming.
Yeah,
so that's a lot about me. But
I think you're not old, but you have the child's heart probably. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So I was in a business doing venture capital where we were actually helping startups. I put those two things together. Why don't we do a startup where we are using crypto in the gaming space? But because it was logic to me that these ways of transferring money was so much easier. Because if you go to PayPal, for example, there's a cap on how much you can transfer every day. It's like $10,000. Some of these guys in 2019, for example, the winner of Fortnite World Championship is a young guy of 16, and he wins 9 million. How many days will it take for him to transfer with $10,000 a day? So I was like, okay, of course he got a special transfer, and he had these bank accounts of his father, and all these things has to be set up. But what if you just want to do this on your own, and you can say from money from Timbuktu to Toronto would be much easier when you have crypto, because then you can just transfer it, and you know that those money is not being fiddled with. There's nobody who's taking any fees. There's nobody. You just transfer them, and then you have them on your your wallet, your mobile wallet, and it's yours, and you can go and spend them as you want. And I thought that that was the most practical things also for gamers. And then you had the option of doing a KYC AML. For those who don't know that, it's know your customers and anti-money laundering. So so you can actually have a very safe space for gamers, where what is actually the most important things for us here in Gamers Gold. One of them is actually that it's a safe haven for gamers as well, where you won't see anybody who's trying to rob you, or you're just playing for money because it's fun. You set up a battle for a tenner, and another guy comes in and see, oh, there's a guy who's playing, let's say, Counter-Strike or something. And then there's 20 on the table, and then you play, and then we have a fee of 10%. It's a very basic business model, but we can do so much more with that model. And when we are making a white label solution out of Gamers Gold, and when we have NGOs in the system, there's so many more things that we can do.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. And as I know, you are basically doing it on a skill-based gaming, so it's not called gambling in any jurisdiction. So it's strictly skill-based. So if you have the skill, you can play, and you can play for money. So you essentially play to earn some more. But it would be good to describe your project for our audience in more detail, like the use cases, the games that you currently support, for example. How is the, I don't know, arbiter mechanism, so like a referee mechanism, so that neither party gonna, mislead you. So when they lose, they do not say that they won. So how does this, is this process automated? Are there some kind of, someone who monitors this, or how this process works? It would be great to hear.
First of all, I would say that we are in production, which means that we have a team of 4 developers who's working hard on this every day. At the moment, we will soon have a deadline when we have the working version, where there will be money floating through the system. So yeah, we're in the process of finding investors at the moment. But we have some competitors, and we don't do what they do because they're using fiat money. One of them is in Stockholm, Sweden. They've been working since 2012. They have their challenge mode, and what they do, they're going for the esport directly, and they are doing tournaments in the esport as a back end for the big tournaments, where you show up in a football stadium or something, and everybody's in there, 80,000 game enthusiasts who wants to watch the favorite team play against each other. That has been very interesting to watch the last few years, especially before Corona, because now you can't really meet it like this. But so people meet online instead. And what we want to do is we are going to do a tournament software later on. But first of all, we want to do the fast and neat battles against people that just want to set up a fast battle to watch each other. Not too complicated, not too long with tournaments. We have another competitor that is Set League, and they are only doing this in 3 games. We want to do it in all games. We want to be on mobile. We want to be on a lot of games on console and on PC as well. So you can combine this with your mobile, so you can actually tap into the game when you're on your console, and you can see who is coming in, and you have to friend up with them, and then you can play to watch each other. So I would say it's not matchmaking, because we don't do the matchmaking. People find each other.
It's peer-to-peer.
Yeah, it's peer-to-peer. Exactly. That's very important to talk about this, because peer-to-peer is also decentralized. It can also be play to earn, because it depends on how the game developers want to set it up. They can also go in on the platform and set up different game modes, where you say, okay, there's this and this task you can do in the game. So let me take the business perspective on here. If, for example, you are BMW, or let's take another brand, Toyota, Toyota is coming in saying, okay, we are using the white label solution from Gamers Gold. There's no more Gamers Gold to watch, but it's the same platform because it's a white label. So they log in, and now they have all the features that you have in here. They have a token called Toyota gaming coin, or whatever they want to call it. Mm-hmm. And people are going to play with other car enthusiasts in Formula One or any other game that they want to play in IndyCar. There's a lot of car games. It could be a totally other thing. It could be Candy Crush for that matter. And then they set up the terms and conditions for how you win this. But let's say you have to take a certain amount of rounds with a known Formula One driver, and that's the big goal, that you're actually driving against somebody in an e-race online, and trying to see if you can beat these guys and having fun like this. And I'm just setting something up right now. It's just fantasy here. But the thing is that these are the options that we want to have, because when it comes back to the simple part of this, and how are you going to do that, you would say. But for any game that is being played, there will be a log file. And the log file is your profile saying that you were driving this fast in this corner, and you had this distance of braking, or you took this many overhauls on all these other gamers, and you can see you can do a lot of stuff in a car, even in a racing game. That is something that you have to do, tasks that you have to do. When then it comes back to play to collect, then you have to collect stuff, and then you will get some tokens for what you did in the game. And if you win, of course, there will be a prize to win. And let's say these tokens from Toyota, they say, okay, so now I build a new layer on this that we can actually do when we have the NGOs in here. Right now, there's a volcano that is exploding, and we all.
Yeah, that volcano is making an island now, I guess.
Well, yeah, but think about it. It's gonna explode again. We know that there has been warnings about this, but it's gonna break some tsunamis, and these tsunamis is gonna hit coasts around the world, and some of these coasts are in poor areas, but we will have an option to help them when it actually does, because you can't stop the nature from doing what it does. So we know that something bad's going to happen soon when it's exploding again. But now you can set up a card game, or you can set up a Call of Duty or a Fortnite or anything, people coming in and playing. And Toyota is saying, okay, if you play for $1 million, the pool is on $1 million because there's so many players putting money in to help these people. We're going to top that up with another $1 million. And that $1 million would go uncut directly to this area. And we will have all these guys' wallets, of course, with a Gamers Gold wallet. And then again, maybe branded as a Toyota wallet, because they have to hook into this system as well. You can say that it's very commercial, but it is commercial, and the free market will already help the world a lot. And I think that these options for giving them some money in that particular area is here now, because now the gamer can on his own say, okay, yeah, I want to go in and play it like a Toyota game, instead of just sitting here every day playing my card game, because now I can actually help somebody in the world with the winning and losing and collecting some tokens. And then that's another way of doing impact in the world.
Yeah, great. Actually, when I think about it, I think I remember one competitor, but they are doing something a little bit different. But the concept of how to say skill-based gaming and charging 10%. Gamers Lounge, I think it's a US-based company. They got the funding from the Y Combinator about 2 or 3 years ago, if I remember correctly. And they've grown from a really like 3 or 4 game offering to a lot of game offerings now. And I think that, the how to say interest and desire of people is there. So there is a big market of people who would like to enter in this space. You mentioned that for each game played and for each customer there's going to be a logs about what was happening. So where will these logs be kind of stored? Is it are you using some kind of decentralized storage like protocols like Arweave or similar stuff, or will it be centralized in your servers? So how is that gonna be working?
You have to have a wallet. You have your local wallet on your mobile phone, but you have to put some money onto the server when you want to play, and then again you get them back to your wallet if you want that. If you feel there's a lot of exchanges out there where you have your money placed on, and I don't mention Mount Gox in this sentence, but of course there's been some flaws around that it wasn't good for the environment. Well, let's see that you can. We want to be a trusted platform, of course. So what we do is like you have it on either on our platform, but you can also take them down to your wallet if you want. There will also be a minting option, but the minting has to have something to do with gaming. So you can also mint some of our tokens by doing stuff in game, but the whole thing is actually set up so the minting is a part of doing stuff in game, but when it comes to the security, we're trying to have as much decentralized as possible. But of course, if you want to put it central, it's up to you. But and we don't, we don't encourage people to do either.
Understood. Great. And the coin or token that you will be issuing, is it Ethereum based like ERC20, or on which protocol?
Yeah, we're looking into different protocols, but we definitely have an eye on something like BEP20 from Binance.
Okay, BEP20, yeah. Due to lower gas fees, I guess.
Well, there's a lot of problems with the gas fees on the Ethereum mainnet, of course. So yeah.
Understood. Great. My next question would be, how do you foresee like a future, like from like today to 5 years, or from today to 10 years? What kind of developments you see, not only within your specific industry and like how to say this skill-based gaming and stuff like that, but also broader into, I don't know, Metaverse, NFTs, which is a really hot topic, and we see that lots of not only communities but also big tech is actually entering there, and they all, how to say, the money that they spend seems to be limitless and they are pushing and forward. And with the there are rumors that with this Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard now, that means how big bet Microsoft is going to place also on the Metaverse, because they are somehow going to use the knowledge that they have, Activision Blizzard, into this. So it would be great to hear your thoughts about these topics.
Interesting question, and there's more than one question here. What are the let's take bike industry first and talk about the Metaverse as well. So the predictions, of course, is that today there's like 2.9 billion gamers out there, and half of them are women. So women, we know that you're gaming as well. The thing is that a lot of people actually, most of the games are played on mobile, 90%. So what you see that people are doing this, instead of having a cigarette, they have a break game. So they just take a short break and they play Candy Crush or TikTok or what it now is. That's not a thing, but they play Subway Surfers or something like this. But then again, they get inspired from TikTok, and this is also one of the industries that is booming. The addictive movie watching on some of these platforms is one of the things that is going on right now. The world is moving towards the world is getting smaller because people are so interconnected. Did I break the internet connection?
I think I lost you.
Okay, now I can see you back now.
Yeah, I think there was some problem. I lost you for some time. Yeah, please continue.
Right. Yeah. So the world is getting smaller. People are interconnected, and this means that you can also help people. As I talked about before, there will be lending options with the crypto. There will be a lot of new ways of doing business because of smart contracts and autonomous agents. And a smart contract has one of the best things about smart contracts, and when you do decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, means that businesses will be built up without having all the legislators being in doubt that this is done right, because the legislation is already in the contract and is already being done. When you're using these coins and tokens, yes, everything is on place and it's already legal what you're doing. There's no coming back on like they are doing something fraudulent or this. Build new businesses that is actually like take them down off the shelf, off the shelf companies with everything right from the beginning. That leaves out a huge chunk of lawyers. And I know in the US, every conflict is like being made into something that you can take to court more or less. We heard the last stories from what they have in there, but we also know that that means that of course the lending process, as I said, towards remittances, that people are bringing out a lot of money from one side to another of the globe, in another country, but where they're coming from somewhere. That is some of the products that you will see being that will change the world, because when you have free moving manpower, load much faster. Then it comes to innovation. When you have innovation, you will actually be able to innovate much faster, because maybe I have an idea, but I need a team in somewhere in the world, and it will be much easier for this team to know that if you have the system, but the system is coming where you have, okay, I have this idea, can I have this built? Very early on, you have to do a lot of stuff today on your own. You have to understand a lot of legislation on how you do this when you have to fundraise, and who is the business angels that you go for, what is pre-seed capital. It's a huge amount. It's like taking a bachelor or a master degree in financing your own business. You have to know so many things. I would say it's more difficult than a master degree to understand how to fund your own business, actually. Also because there's so many pitfalls. The pitfalls are the worst, because there's so many people trying to take your money out there, even though that you're seeking money. There's so many fraudulent people in this business. Then you will get them away, and you will also have the legislation set up in the beginning, so the investors know that they can invest in this, because it's all in there. It's all in the same package, and it reminds you of the crowdfunding options that is online today, of course. But it would be much easier for people to use their tokens, use their cryptos in here, and the crypto space is going to explode. We already seen that it's been worth 3 trillion, and the market now is 2.6 because it's going a bit down, but 3 trillion. If you listen to a guy called Michael Taylor, he said that Michael Saylor, he said that when a market reach 1 trillion, it's here for good. I know that it's only like 2% of the GDP of the US market or something, but it's going to be. But this is that's the world cap of crypto. But this is early days, and it's like the internet in the 80s, and people didn't know about what it was, or maybe 94 or 3 or something, and suddenly it's here, and then you're starting to see that people are using this. So the utility coins, tokens that we're bringing into the market, into the gaming space, is a very important thing for a market to grow and mature. And these are some of the things that you will see in any business, not only in gaming. So I think that I answered some of your question there.
Yeah. And actually you brought some a very interesting topic about this internet and crypto and blockchain adoption, because if you compare it, crypto and blockchain is actually adopted at a much higher pace than internet was back then. So we can, if we project the same rate to actually, be sustained, we might see that in or nearly half the world will have at least a wallet address and will know what you're doing, what it actually is. And that figure for crypto will actually be some, a game changer, I think, just like 1 trillion market cap was back then. And actually, I also follow Michael Saylor. He has some really important insights, and he's very personally and professionally very deep into crypto due to his investments, I guess. And I think that his average price of Bitcoin of MicroStrategy, the firm that he's heading, is about around $20,000 per Bitcoin now. So average price that they've bought. So they at least have 100% gain on average on their crypto holdings. And he's really, waiting for this $100,000 mark of Bitcoin, which will actually take all the market cap of other altcoins at a very high point, so to say. And I'm pretty sure you have seen this laser eyes of people who are waiting for 100K, which should have happened in 2021, but it didn't. So now I think the bet is on 2022. So yeah, we'll see. But what I really like about this crypto adoption is how communities and individuals find different types of applications of this technology, and they build a lot of startups around it. And if we look at VC fundings that is going into Web3 related platforms, it's growing at a very high speed. So I guess that if you have some basic good idea, and if you find some good application of this technology, you will get funding. And you can get funding quite at a high valuations as well. So that's something that's I guess is happening. Great. Now I think the next question should be the question that we ask to each of our guests on this podcast, as this name suggests, searching for Satoshi. So Stephen, who do you think is Satoshi Nakamoto? Or maybe if it's a group of people, who knows? But who do you think? How would you describe? And if you have a specific person in mind, that would be awesome. But how would you describe, a creator of Bitcoin? We cannot hear you, Stefan. No, your voice is lost. Your voice is lost. No, we cannot hear you. So maybe you know who Satoshi is, and we cannot hear you now because it's it's censored or something like that. No, we still can't hear you.
I'm gonna talk to you so you can hear me now.
Okay, now.
All right. I don't know what's going on with the mic here. Of course, this guy Craig Wright. He was the Australian guy saying that it's him. Yeah. There was a funny story about this school teacher who actually has the name Satoshi Nakamoto in Japan, and all the TV station lined up in front of him, and he was like, "No, it's not me, it's not me." And some people say that it might be some of the crypto guys from Denmark, in Aarhus, where I'm actually born and raised. I'm in Copenhagen right now, but I don't think it's the Danes, but I think that some of these, they were early out, actually already in the 80s with cryptonomics. So these guys have PhDs and everything, and they're in a company called Concordium, but by the way, and helping them out with crypto. Then there was this crypto winter, and nothing really happened. I think that I think it's a group of people who said that we're going to try this out and we're not going to take any credits. We just want it to fly. And maybe it flies because of the privacy in this, that nobody takes the credit for it. That has its own charm, of course. But when you look at it, there's like 3 million of these tokens that's never going to be found. Some are stolen in Mt. Gox, and some of them are just lost on hard drives because it was fun to try it out. But now they're not there anymore, and we are close to 19 million minted already. So there's only 2 million left to mint. So the last piece of this storage token, it's more like gold. It's something that you hold. You don't use it to buy beer with anymore, but you hold it. And I think that it's a group of people, but we're never gonna know who it actually is, and that privacy is fine.
And what do you think about the private keys of this group of people then? Did they actually like get rid of the private keys not to be tempted to access their Bitcoins after, I don't know, 10 or 12 years? Or do they still have these private keys, but they have the will to never use them or something like that? What do you think about that?
Well, the story will tell only, because some people are actually watching their Mt. Gox loss, and it's very transparent when it comes to crypto. Most people don't understand that it's very transparent and that it's actually a better technology than fiat currencies. And but there's bad PR is also good PR. So the thing is that people are bad mouthing crypto and saying that it's only for the Silk Road and the dark net with their dark web and all this. But actually 80% of the dollar notes in the US is marked with cocaine. So different things are going on in the US as well when they take the fiat currencies. The thing is that when it comes to the black market, most of the black market in the US is also dollars, not crypto at all. When it comes to having this option of using crypto, I believe that we are looking into a future where all these, as you said, we have all these altcoins, and they will be used for different purposes. We will see much more tokens out there. One day we probably more or less have a token for any organization that you put up, and if you make your own business, you can make your own token, and you can have a system that actually accepts them instead of having this hard time to get on an exchange today. So the whole market will change into something that is much more transparent. But when it comes to the Mt. Gox laws, people are still watching. Is it being used? And some of these Mt. Gox tokens has been used. So I think that if they start to push out some of the tokens, we will know, and then we will know who it is behind the Bitcoin, because people will try to follow these tokens. But when it comes to the transparency, you don't have transparency. Only the central banks knows who is using and spending digital money, and this is a huge problem because what about you? If you got robbed, why shouldn't you know who took your money if you could? And think about this: it's gonna be hard for a criminal to run away with your money if it's stamped with your name. So it's still George tokens, even though that you lost them. But you can say to people, can you see this transaction? Something fraudulent happened here. and people will say, yes, we can see that. So we're going to follow it, and we're going to find that guy, and then we're going to take it away from him, and then we're going to push him out of the system, just like you do on an Uber. When you're driving with Uber, you're the passenger and the chauffeur. Both of them have a system of rating, so they rate each other. So if you're a passenger and you're a bad passenger, you always take the Uber at Friday, and you have drunk too much, and you're not a really nice person to have in the car. They can leave you. They can say, no, we're not going to take this guy. He only have 1 star or half a star.
Yeah,
And that's how you can push it into the
social ranking or something like that within
exactly social ranking. So you push people out of the system if they're not behaving right. And this is the punishment that's going to be here in the future. That people can do their own punishment towards each other, but I hope that it will be more the carrot than the whip, because in our system we will try to give people tokens when they do good. So it's more to award people for doing the right things, because I don't believe in the whip system like they have in China, where you have these 1,000 points that you can lose these.
Yeah. The system should not be abused, and it should be transparent in that case, if something like that is kind of.
But you can your social currency is something where people say, okay, really, this guy's doing a lot of good things, so she is ranking high in the system because she's doing this and this and this and this and this, and then people start to pour more money after this. Think about it. If you have the education system, one of the things that I want to say about something that's going to change humongously is like education, where you're getting rewarded for taking each lesson. And then a company, let's say that you are attractive to Goldman Sachs or something, and you're going into banking or going into trading, and then they are going to say, oh, this guy is actually really, really smart. He's very fast. He's young. He's doing these courses better than anybody. We're going to put some money after him. So if you are taking this course even faster, and your grade is high, and again, a point system, we were going to have you, so they can get him to acknowledge them, saying, oh, really, these guys are putting money into my education, so I don't have to have a huge bank loan afterwards, because it was all paid for by these smart guys. And now I'm hired in by this company because they paid for my education, because I was smart, I was fast. Did you see that this thing is actually connecting very well? But doesn't have to be in education. It could be in gaming as well. We want to have this gamer because he's one of the best gamers. So we are giving him the tokens for playing more games. And this is a good streamer. We're going to put them in here and give them some tokens, because they really are great for the content and for what we want in our company. And this is the award system that we want to have.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, sounds interesting. Your ideas were really interesting and very progressive as well. So I think that there's going to be the options that, like, what I see is, and especially after the Corona pandemic, there is rapid development in a lot of directions in crypto, and I think that this pace will be, sustained still, at least for the next 5 years, and we might see very, very interesting projects, that very, very interesting use cases and applications of this technology. And that's definitely gonna, as you said, give birth to lots of different startups, people, group communities, and if something gonna be there and stay there, it's probably good for society, and that's why it's used. That's why it's adopted. So,
right. So one of the things that we should look at is the metaverse. We know that Facebook wants to be in this space. We know that Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard, and we know that they're all looking at, and that's a really huge deal. It's $68.7 billion that they're actually going to purchase this big company for. And if you're looking at Warzone, it was like normal, you pay for the game and then you play it. And then they had this free version, and normally they have 9 million players, but they ended up having 175 million players because they had a free version. And they made, last year, they made something like $2.2 billion on a free version. So the metaverse is high for a lot of known brands. They all want to be on the metaverse, not only like Microsoft or Facebook or Amazon. They all want to be in there, like the brands like Nike or Toyota again, and all these. They want to be in here because it's super hot to come into this metaverse. What is it in the metaverse? People are thinking like, why should I be in the metaverse? But think about gamers who's already sitting in the metaverse and playing games and running around in 3D, having their avatar, having fun every day, 2 hours, 3 hours, addictive hours of 10 hours a day. Some streamers and people are living from just playing games and setting their life off to this. The metaverse is the same, but you have to do something in there. So our API, our third layer company, Gamers Gold, can be used in metaverses.
Yeah.
So a metaverse can come to us and say, okay, what kind of games can we put into our metaverse so people have something to do besides running around in the gallery and looking at NFTs, besides going in and listening to a seminar, Clubhouse style. Or meeting their spouse or whatever they're doing, dating in there, or I don't know, whatever they want to do in the metaverse, or just running around playing a cop, playing a criminal, playing something. The metaverse is a lot of things, and you will be able to do a lot of things. Snoop Dogg is in the metaverse. All the artists want to come into the metaverse now. They all want to be a part of this new stuff, and that's the explosion. That's where you're going to see that these tokens from the sandbox to the decentralized mana, they exploded when Mark Zuckerberg went out and said, okay, we're going to have the name Meta. So we're not see, and this is just the beginning. We haven't seen anything yet, but when these explosions are going to come there for the all the Axie Infinity, the play to earn game, where we see that the Philippines under the corona was in the rural areas are actually making $300 to $400 by playing play to earn games. So we haven't seen anything yet what can happen in the metaverse with the play to earn option as well. And if you put the play to earn option into Gamers Gold, where we can give games that wasn't built for being like this an option to be a play to earn game, because or play to collect game, or whatever you want to put in there, because you get the drift here. You can do anything now, but some of these metaverses would say to Gamers Gold, well, what do you have on the shelf for us? And we can say, yeah, we can do all this and this and this and this with them. So people are going to go into the metaverse, and it's going to be a huge transaction. This is the second phase of cryptocurrencies. And this is a big move. This is where you have the hype cycle from the gardeners, where all the lunatic French like me bought a beer in 2013 for a crypto for bitcoins, for 4 bitcoins. They were there. They did stuff, but people were like, "Oh, we don't do this," and suddenly it becomes normal. And if you're looking into innovation, you will know that the innovation curve is also exponential. The adoption of innovation is getting faster and faster, and the young guys want to be, not you and I, the young guys will be in this space, and they will adopt it quicker than you've seen anything being adopted before in the world history. So we're looking into something that is amazing, and some numbers that you won't believe, and maybe this crypto adoption is only like 7 to 8 years in the future, that people will have more crypto on their accounts than they have normal fiat currencies.
Yeah, interesting. Great. I think we had a great talk, Steffen. Thank you very much for your ideas. It would be fun actually if you could look for your for bitcoins in a blockchain ledger, so that understand where they are now, and if the bar owner actually transferred them somewhere to exchange them directly, or is still holding them, or something like that. So if you had the TX ID, that would be that would be fun to trace. Thank you very much for your time. I think the talk was quite interesting, and our viewers and listeners will find it interesting as well. Good luck in your project, Gamers Gold. Wish you all the success and luck. I guess it will not be hard for you to find enough investors in your way, I think you should go for not
I can
only
make an
rock-based
announcement.
VCs, not only for
Yeah.
your.
We're looking for $750 at the moment. We already have one business angel who wants to come up with 350.
Okay.
We're looking for $750 dollars for 10% equity at the moment. So it's early and it's pre-seed, and we might not look for investments later on, because then we can actually start doing our own crowdfunding and stuff like this. So if you want to have fingers on a really good deal, you should be here now.
Sounds good for our listeners and viewers as well. So if someone is interested, and I'll also have a look at different business angels who might be interesting, so I might connect you with them. But thank you for your time. Great ideas, and I wish you all success. Yeah, you wanted to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's gamers.gold. That's simple to write out there on the URL. Gamers.gold.
Gamers.gold. Great. Thank you, Stephen. Nice talking to you, and all the success and good luck. Bye-bye.
Thanks, George. Bye-bye.